Hello, hello. Changing to too many things changed. I'm scrambling to get everything fixed. What can you do though? Played around with my mic, got a new camera, so things break. It's okay though. It's okay. So I think we're going to continue doing some Tauri stuff today. And unfortunately, since everything broke, I did not actually tweet out about streaming today. I am going to do that real quick here. We're gonna do some. Oh, cat. Kitty, kitty. Sorry, tray app. I'm particularly interested in. We were exploring with the option menus, option menu items before, and well, we could do some things with it. It wasn't. I think we're kind of being limited by what we can do at the OS level. My goodness, you are. Cat. So I think what we're going to do today is look into potentially. Oh my goodness, cat. Bamboo likes to be cuddled. She likes her cuddle time, and always does it at the worst times. All right. Let's switch over to the display. So we are going to pull up the docs right away. And the idea here is that we want to be able to do surprise test to rebuild. I might end up needing to clear up my folder too. Definitely getting skip frames, unfortunately, with all the encoding. No, not taskbar. Rust, you are rocking my computer right now. Yes, I do want to. All right. I don't need Rust to go really fast. I'm not sure why it's recompiling. I did a build before we started. Hoping I could avoid this. But couldn't recompile. I think it's just going to be our day today. Well, so today we are going to see what we can do apart from just the OS level menu items. We want to look into when we click it, open up a web view, either the original one or a different window. I don't know that it matters too much. But I think that's going to give us more control. So we are on Windows. I imagine Mac is going to work slightly differently. So that might be something that we explore another day. And this is now Windows 11. That's been part of my journey the past few days. It got very insistent, and I ended up just pulling the trigger and making the upgrade to Windows 11. That's gone too badly, actually. Here we go. Finally it's done. Yeah, all things considered, it hasn't gone too badly. So I guess take your wins as you can. Okay, so we are going to look at the tray app docs again. System tray. And we're working off of the system tray that we started a few weeks ago, I think it was now. A school project in C++. I know very little C++. Partly by choice. Mostly by choice. Right, I'm going to rerun dev now that we've got our window open. So when this starts up, now Rust Analyzer is going to go. Okay. Teams, you can go away. So we should be getting here. We got a show and a hide option to start, which I think, yeah. So we received a right click. So what we can do is we can, I think we want to monitor for a left click. And then we basically just want to open a chat window. So it's going to be something like hide and show the window. So in the tray menu, we've got start, and that's our countdown. So it's actually counting down in there. I think we remove that for right now. Do we have? Yeah, we do have some countdown code. We want to I think we just want to hide the main window when it starts up. So like, let's just have this start up as a tray menu item. And oh, hey, there goes our Rust Analyzer. So I think we just straight up take out all the countdown stuff. It's going to rebuild. We don't use that anymore, which is fine. I think that's fine. I think that's just a Rust Analyzer issue. So what we want to do is we want to hide the window. No customization. I don't think it's in this. Gotta remember where we have that documentation. So window menu would be this up here. You can remove that bar using, I believe it's decorations. And then you can put in your own bar. So you can, using HTML and JavaScript, you can emulate this bar. So rather than using like the built-in OS level thing, you can effectively do your own thing. There is a splash screen. So when you open the app, you can have it show a splash screen. Yeah. So splash screen would be a way to show something as it's loading rather than just opening up to a blank web view that needs to load. I suspect that's mostly the idea behind it. And it's pretty fast already, so I haven't really felt like I've needed one yet. At least for the things that I've been, the little test apps that I've been playing around with and whatnot. All right, where's our Windows stuff? I could have sworn we had things about. Must be in the API docs only. I think we're mostly going to be doing the window stuff from Rust, so we don't need to dig into the JavaScript side of things for that, at least. Is it window customization? Create a custom title bar? Could have sworn we had some. Oh, I bet you it's in the. Cat is being very needy right now. Yes. So here's the decorations that I was talking about. Oh my goodness. Kitty, kitty, kitty. So this is all sort of startup stuff. We need to do it on the fly. It might only be in our Rust docs. I am going to go to I don't remember where this would be offhand. There's a window here. This window functions new, so we can create a new window. Interesting thing there. It's in progress. So set visible, modify the window's visibility. So this will hide the window. So I think what we can do, we should have a handle to the window. Show hide quit, tray menu, system tray, builder. This makes a new window and gives us a handle to it. There's a GTK window. Interesting. Forgot to open up a mod view on the side. All right. So we need to figure out how to get access to the window. Could have sworn we had some examples of that somewhere. So set full screen is kind of interesting. Set cursor position, set always up top. All right. Events, commands. I do need to do more with the commands. Everything that I've worked on so far hasn't really needed it. And we've done some pretty cool generate context. So yeah, so this derive macro. The derive? My Rust terminology definitely needs work. Yeah, but that comes with time. But this the macro syntax ends up being really nice, so you don't have this massive nested tree of things. The weather changed here, and everybody got colds. So kids got snuffly noses and passed it to everybody else, and or vice versa. All right. Yeah, I don't think we have anything. I could have sworn we had some docs on it. Just searching in our Discord on the side here. If you are at all interested in Tauri, join the Discord. We answer questions there. You could also answer questions in the or ask questions in the issues and discussions, of course. Okay, so it is just called main. I think is what it seems. So we could do Tauri builder on generate context. I don't think we need a show and hide, so we're just gonna custom menu item, get window. Okay. So we do actually do it. On system tree event, is there a startup? We want sync task. Window builder. So I wonder if we can do not switching. There we go. So we're using app. App comes in through the on system tray event. So where's the window? I gotta figure out where the window is coming in. Trying to quell a sneeze. Can you handle monitor window? On window event. All right. It's problem with searching for window. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go through the create some. So this is old, right? Oh, maybe not. No, this is the rest side of things. I think this is fine. So we've got Tauri builder. I feel like that this app switcher is helping very good. So I've got power toys, and they just had an update that if you do the Windows key and page up, page down, it goes between them. It doesn't. I think part of it is I don't remember if I need to press up or down. Okay, so we have manager. We're not actually. I guess we're not really using it. There's Tauri manager. System tray. Setup. And then builds the app. So Tauri builder sets up the system tray. And then adds an event and then does run. So we're effectively calling this. So app builder has a builder default. Or events. Listen on event. Oh wait, no. That's why. No, right? Okay. Yeah. So are all these June? Yeah, those. We didn't dump all this under this, did we? Does it not show? It's annoying. Okay, so RC. Versioning is hard. Clearly we yanked a bunch of stuff. Because the problem was the beta was clashing with this beta RC. So I guess it's this. What version do I have? Tauri build beta. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. This looks much more as I would expect. Okay, window, monitor, menu. So submenu, system tray. So this is the oh, there's a create feature for it. Did I really enable it? Oh yeah, I did. Nice. Yeah. So our builder does on page load, manage. So manage storage and DB connection. That's nice. Generate context. And here's our create window. Okay, this is making a lot more sense now. I was wondering. I'm like, felt like we were missing stuff because we were. So there's a create window here. We just want to hide the window. Use the commands. We do the invoke handler, and then we reference those commands. Plugin defines a page look. What is setup? Okay. So setup gives us access to the app, and app gives us access to package info, handle, run. Hello, how are you? Have you used Tauri before? Noman Kelly? How long have I been coding? Gosh. More than a decade in now, I think. I'm still somewhat new to Rust. And despite having helped, despite being on the Tauri team, I haven't touched most of the Rust end of things. Which is what we're looking at right now. So, part of my curiosity here is being able to get more on the Rust side of things. I've mostly been helping out with the JavaScript end of Tauri and docs and onboarding, kind of the project management stuff. You'd be surprised. Yeah, haven't actually written much code yet. I appreciate it though. Are you familiar with any programming languages, or are you looking to get into it? So let's see. So I think we need to drop into Rye for what do I advise you about programming? That is a very difficult question to answer without more context. There's lots of different things you can do, and there's lots of different niches you can get into. And it all kind of depends on your interest and your background and what your goals are going to be. So you've got the event loop. Software dev is still pretty general. Like, what are you looking to do? Do you just want to get into any program because it is you are interested in the industry, or you want to, or is this not saying this is a bad thing, but are you interested in going into software because it can get you a good job? Is there particular interest as far as the type of programming you want to do? Stream Deck. Why don't you have that set up? I think it broke my markers. That's annoying. I do it. Bummer. More stuff isn't working. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. Oh well. Okay. Yeah, so as far as like software dev goes, I mean, you can get into the gaming side of things. There's backend, which would be databases or infrastructure, helping stand up servers. There's the front end code, which would be the stuff that you're doing in the browser generally. There's sort of the full stack, I guess you could say, where it's front end interacting with the back end. You kind of get into both pieces depending on where you place that you land. So, I mean, really what it comes down to is you need to figure out something that you're interested in and want to focus on, which is just not necessarily an easy task. And then backend, okay. So there's databases and there's infrastructure. Those are probably the two big groups. GraphQL is a big thing that's really been picking up steam. And there's a bunch of platform as a service or infrastructure as a service that you can play around with this stuff on. Or you can do sort of the infrastructure side of things where you would use something like Kubernetes, which helps manage and stand up servers. And really what it comes down to is, as far as getting a job, you need to... the unique thing I think about the software industry is it's much easier to show that you know what you're doing or have some knowledge of it, as opposed to other industries where you're sort of relying on credentials that a college says you have. So you might, you go to college and you graduate, they give you a degree. That degree is essentially imparting their credibility on you for having done and have some knowledge of the thing. In software, I mean, like the art industry or whatnot, you can kind of do similar things, but hey Rachel, glad to see you. We're trying to play around with Tauri tray apps, and I'm getting into the Windows stuff, which is not something I've dug into yet in Tauri. Yeah, so as far as the backend software dev goes, try to figure out something that you're interested in and want to pursue, and do a thing, try it out, and write about it and talk about it and let people know that you're doing the thing. Haven't made any games. I've played around with it. I wouldn't... I think it's sort of a fuzzy answer, but I would say generally no. There is a shout out to a friend, Chris Piscardi. He's been working on a course called Rust Adventures, and it's a bunch of Rust tutorials. And one of them in there is using Bevy, which is a Rust-based game engine, and you can use that to create desktop games. So I've been slowly going through those as I find time. Time is always it's always less time than you would want. But one of his courses that he has in there is doing the game. I'm probably about halfway through it at this point. So let me grab the URL just so I don't. rustadventure.dev. It's a paid course, but if you have any familiarity with programming, so I've got a lot of background in some Python, It's been a while since I used it. But for the most part, JavaScript and TypeScript. And yeah, I mean, the Python was here and there, and then I used it a bunch like 5 or 6 years ago. And prior to that. So coming from sort of the JavaScript side of things, the way he does his Rust tutorials really works well for me. All right, so let's see if we can figure out how to hide this window. How much have you dug into Tauri yet, Horatio? I know Jonas? I'm not sure if they pronounce the first letter. Has been pretty involved with Tauri. I know that you have interactions. Minter? On Minter, I think it is. Okay. I feel like there's a... So I was looking in our Discord. I could probably just... Do I have it open? No, I don't. All right. Yeah. Nice. Yep. Is it Jonas or Jonas? Don't know that I've actually said it out loud. We've chatted a bunch. Minter, nice, yeah. We've chatted a bunch about using Covector. Jonas and I. All right, so I don't know if we want... I don't think we want an event or anything on a window event. What kind of window events do we have? Forced to learn Rust. Did you get into Rust Adventures? I feel like I can't remember if I saw you talking about it or not. Rust Adventure, I guess. That S always gets me. I generally enjoy writing Rust, but I haven't dug too deep into some of the more complex things it can do. But I like the way it does the types, especially having done a fair amount of TypeScript myself. I have a YouTube channel. For the most part, I've just been throwing these Twitch streams up on YouTube, so you can go back and watch the sort of the replay. But I haven't dug into too many more actual videos. Something that I'd like to do. Nice. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the book is a good place to start. I've basically read it about twice now. I kind of read it originally when I first started getting into things, and then came back to it again. Sort of re-skimmed it. All right, so I don't think we want to do a window. I don't think we want to do any event actually. So Rye, we can. I don't know offhand how Rye works into the. I mean, like functionally, I know like what it's doing and whatnot, but I don't know enough of when it starts to actually get worked into your like main function. And I think that's part of. I think we might need to use it. But but I'm not 100% certain. Okay, nice. Thanks for the follow. I feel like we definitely need to do. Oh, that's kind of cool. This example is not tested. I think once I get into the Rust side of things more entirely, I'm going to be filling out examples. That's what'll be a lot of what I would be interested in getting in there, because I think that'll be super helpful. Because between Lucas Ship and names are hard, I tell you. Can't believe I'm blanking. Oh, wait. UI. Yeah, they've handled a lot of this. A lot of the oh, and I guess yeah, they've Amar has done a bunch of it too. I'm having trouble with names today. Holy cow. Yeah. Lamiari. Lamiari? You know how you read these names all the time and you go, yes, I know the person. I recognize the name. I see it on the screen. And then you go to like recall it and say it out loud, and it's just like a completely different experience. And you're like, I know them. I talk to them. How am I struggling with this so much? Oh well. It's the same thing like reading books. You read all these like fiction or short story, and then you end up talking to somebody about it, and you're like, that one person which has a name that looks like this shape, and I can't recall it. Okay. So I don't think we want to do any events. And I'm wondering if, so there's a create window, so it can have multiple windows. If we are doing a tray app where we click the button and it shows a little window, I'm tempted to just use the main window. I don't see a reason to create multiple windows. At least not yet. I think there could be a case where we want to create multiple windows. But I think for the most part, when we start up, we just try to hide the window. And once we have hidden said window, then we can just pull it back up every time. So the get window is on app. I'm not. This stuff that they've been adding to DocsRS, really appreciate that. Okay, all right. We're gonna do it. Let's see. don't care too much. That just want to make sure I'm not hiding anything that, or not showing anything that can't show. All right. Guess I can just search on the side here. All right, so we want to do, I'm just don't want to show stuff on stream that I'm not, that I shouldn't be. So we need to do a window. We want to hide on start. Main window hide. You're not helping me out at all, are you? Yeah, okay. I'm glad I did this on the side. It probably doesn't make for great content, but the search feature in Discord is not great as far as filtering out stuff. Okay, so the hidden startup of the main window. Okay, this might be. So we want to do. This actually looks like it's doing it through the browser. So they're using an invoke handler. Close splash screen. Yeah, so I think this is specifically on the. I think that was specifically on the JavaScript side of things. But really we just want to do okay, so within within setup we can get the main window. Okay, so that might work. So within builder we can do dot setup, and that gives us access to app. And now we can do app, do let window equals pretty much the same thing that we're doing down here. App dot get window main dot unwrap. Ooh. So window yeah. Window dot hide, I guess. So I think that'll basically hide the window right at startup. Okay, so it does start up. And now you do see it for a split second. I don't know if you could actually see that on the side there. But I just hit save again, it'll rebuild the app. Yeah, so you can see just a flash of it. So that actually probably would be a I think there's a wait for in the splash screen. I think there was guys visual splash screen. So waiting for Rust. So in setup, yep. Yeah, after it's done, close the splash screen. So like we can do this. So rather than initialize your app here instead of sleeping. Nice, okay. I think we can basically do it here. In something like this where we're doing waiting for the splash screen and then we hide it. But I'm not gonna worry about that for right now, because so we're gonna get take this right click and left click. We're not gonna worry about the right click for right now. So here we've got a double click. Okay. So we are doing some stuff here. I don't want to do, I want to show it actually. And we'll have to deal with when we click out of it and we want it to basically hide or something. So if we go like this, it then shows it. So we are going to not handle the double click or right click. We are just going to print out. Honestly, we could probably switch that to debug or something like that, so it gets pulled out. Is that it? Let's see if I remember that right. Access is denied. Interesting. Probably saved too many times. It's a building, it pops up, it hides. So if we put this here, so that way it'll flash right in the front. So now when we save, it should restart the process. It'll open up. Oh, it actually does open up over there. Interesting. And now if we right click, we are just going to see it here. And the reason we can use debug here is I believe it will just, when we actually go to build, it'll just compile it and remove it. And you can see we still have a separator on the right click. So I'm actually going to remove that. I'm going to leave the show and hide in there for right now. So quit just kills it. Hide and show. That's fine. So now what we want to do is when we click a thing, it'll show it. And then I don't know if there's a way we can do, like, if we click out of it, it doesn't show anything. But what I do want to do next is, I think there was a should have wrote this down. I thought I ran across like a system info crate the other day. Rust system info. Is that it? Yeah. Yep, this is it. Okay. So pretty much what I want to be doing is this. Except instead of just printing it out, I mean, we can start out printing it out, but what I want to do actually is show that in the web view. So the idea is that, actually, before we do that, let's see if we can set the app window location. Position and size of the tray icon. Interesting. So window dot inner full size visible label. So we can actually probably hide the decoration out because we don't actually need outer position. The size of the tray icon. So I think this is effectively, when you click on it, it's going to give you the like location pixel-wise on the monitor, I believe. So Tauri runtime window. Yeah, it's going to give us an X and Y. So if we do, I'm presuming that outer position is also oh. I don't know, page up and page down. It's kind of nice, but it's sort of messing with my head. All right, so first things first, we're gonna just grab. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Are they doing this as a... No, it's just like straight up imperative kind of thing. So we want to effectively initialize this in the yeah. Okay. Comment you out for now. Unresolved import. Yes. What do we care about? Guess we'll just do this for right now. So we want to do, when we left click, we want to just print out. And every time we do that, we want to also refresh. I think that'll work. See, the idea here is that when we click it, it's going to show the window, and that's going to print out that information. And then we can also hook this up to the JavaScript side of things. So cargo edit, sysinfo. Is it cargo add? So if you don't have cargo add, it's kind of handy. It works similar to yarn or npm add. Basically, you can just add it in there and it will update your cargo toml. Interesting though that it grabbed an old one. Might need to had to update my and I reformatted it. Cool. Let's just rerun this, let it recompile. Hopefully we don't get too many skip frames. Get a lot of skip frames today. So I think I had mentioned before, this is Windows 11. I mean, I am compiling Rust. That could definitely be an issue. It doesn't seem to be taxing my system too much. But I am still getting skip frames, which is interesting. I guess the skip frames might actually be due to yeah, does it look fine? I did switch the priority on OBS to high, so hopefully Rust compiles don't make my stream chug. May outlive borrowed value sys. Okay, now we're getting into some Rust stuff. I don't really care about the values being right for the moment. So that stuff may outlive. Interesting. So this might be something where we like do to force the closure to take ownership of sys, use the move keyword. I think I'm actually okay with that. So this gets into the ownership stuff, like part of Rust. So in other languages, there's a thing called garbage collection. When you are running code, it will periodically essentially figure out what memory is not used anymore and what it can get rid of. But depending on what you're doing, that process could not run as quick as you'd like it to. So one thing that Rust is doing and how it can the guarantees that it has around memory safety is due to I think mostly the ownership model. And what it's doing is that this is kind of in a scope. When we set up the Tauri builder, the sys isn't in the same scope anymore. So theoretically, the garbage collector could just, well, it's not really garbage collector, I guess, at this point, but once a variable goes out of scope, so in this case, so the scope is sort of like this piece of the code. Once it goes out of that scope, it can release that memory. But what we're doing is we're also using via a closure the sys in here. And it's saying, hey, we're thinking we could actually release this memory, but you're using it later on. So what we do is this move keyword will say, hey, take that sys and move it into this scope too. So that it's not going to release this. I think that'll work. All right. Now if we single click, we get some memory stuff, and it shows it. And I think we can uncomment this now. Let it rebuild, and I'm presuming, yeah, cannot borrow is mutable. I'm not certain why we have to do that as a mute. So mutable is okay. System. All right, so I guess I should have that as mutable because that needs it. So mutable is basically saying we're setting a value to this variable called sys here. And that value can either be a read-only or it can be something that you can change. Mutable being the thing, the mute stands for mutable, which is the thing saying that we're expecting it to be able to change. One of the keys with the mute is that you can't have, like, once sys goes into this like piece of the code is owning that variable, and you can't have multiple things owning a mutable variable because only like one piece of the code can change that variable at a time. So I think that's, we're running into something with it here. Cannot borrow as mutable. So it's not actually like taking ownership of this, but rather borrowing it. So I'm not quite certain how to deal with it at the moment. Yeah, that's fine. We can get rid of those. We don't need those for the moment. Yeah, I'm not certain how we can deal with that, but I think it doesn't matter too much right now for objective because we're getting values. And we can come back to it and figure out how to get it to refresh. Because I assume what's going to happen is every time we click this, it's going to be literally the exact same value because we're only refreshing it once. The reason I don't want to move this down into this scope is that we're essentially like initializing this every time we click. So I was hoping to, just as part of it being part of the tray, just like keep that hook around. You know, it might not matter. Don't know, like this is probably the easiest to do right now. And that, I guess this will get us the closest. And you know, if it's doing that every time, can deal with it. Can always make it better. So you can see their used memory is changing. Total memory is not going to change. That would be 34 gigabytes. So I guess that's my actual like physical memory. Okay. So that, I mean, it works fine for now. And when we click it, we show it. We want to adjust the position of the window. We're probably getting to the end of this stream here. I don't want to go too long. All right, Horatio. Good to see you. Have a good weekend. And happy holidays if you are celebrating. Hopefully some time off is in your future. All right. So we're printing it. Okay, we want to do the position. I keep getting distracted. I keep distracting myself. So set outer position. Are we using set? Window.outer position. So we want to do, I think, window.set outer position. Modify the position of the window. Can only be called thread. Nice. Returns the top left coordinates. Oh, outer position is returning the top left coordinate of the window in the screen space coordinate system. So we can give it a position P. So I think sorry for coughing into the mic there. That one came out of nowhere. Okay, I think we can do so position, or so this underscore is effectively saying, hey, we recognize that this variable exists, but we don't want to use it. Just chuck it out the window. So I took out the underscore here, so we get position, and now we should be able to window.set outer position. I think we could probably just do position, right? And we need one of these dealios. No, I don't think that's going to work completely. There's an associated function with a similar name. It was set outer position, right? Yeah. Set. No method named set outer position. That feels weird. Oh, set position. Interesting. Interesting. That is confusing. I don't know why it would be. Okay, so the trait bound position. So position is giving us a physical position F64. And position is expected to be an into position. What is physical position? Is that what it is? Or do they have something special in here? I guess there's an X and a Y. So I think we can. Oh, definitely doesn't like that. So literally just dot into. Typo annotations needed in this method. So do we really need to do turbofish Fs? Um, all right, well, let's check. It's expecting position P into. Don't know that I've really used into much. One should avoid implementing into. From and into. So I guess it just figures out the type and tries to convert it into that. Which I think is what we are looking for. So set position is self and position. Expected type F64 found struct. So I think we do need the into, because that'll convert it from a physical position into an F64, which is what set position is expecting. Sets this Windows position. Oh. From physical position, F64. So I'm not quite certain how to get them to match up. I think once we get them to match up, that's probably gonna be the end of the stream. So we need to do inner position, outer position, the position of the top left-hand corner of the window relative to the top left-hand corner of the desktop. So that would be like, if we're clicking here, it's going to give us a value here as opposed to, or relative to like the corner of the desktop. Yeah, like this starts to get kind of funky. But I think because we're getting the position from that. So we just need to figure out how to convert it into. So position is physical position F64. Set position needs position, which is set outer position, modifies the position of the window. Needs an into position. So what's position? Debug ref send pin from into you. Oh, I thought they would have a yeah, so like all these return a physical position I32. Inner size is physical size. So set outer position. Oh, I guess there's a set. So that's probably it. We're probably Tauri or 110. So if we do window, that's probably our issue here. Center is the window. Set size, set position. Okay, here we go. All right. So we were on the Rye implementation, but we're coming from the Tauri side. Determines if this window or sets the window position. So we need to do position into. And position is going to be, that's either physical or logical. Okay. Can I do position dot try into what was it, F32 or something? So I32, I guess. Yeah. So I guess, so we're getting a physical. Is it expecting us to do this? Physical. I definitely need to work on my like syntax around this kind of stuff. Okay, so set position is expecting a position of self and position. Expected type. See, into position. Like this is the part that I'm not grokking. I mean, we just set position, right? But they don't match up because So it's expecting a position, which is either logical or physical. And we are getting a physical position of 64. But that doesn't match up with that, which is interesting. Format, copy. The drape bound position from physical position of 64 is not satisfied because of the requirements of into position. So is it saying that for physical position? All right, let's just. So this should be, I mean, like, assuming I'm looking at the right stuff, you should be able to do like window.center. And that does center it. So I think we're looking at the right code. Now we just need to figure out why it's doing so. So physical position should be an I32. So I should. It's kind of odd that it. I don't even know if I can do that. Oh, do I need to do this? Is that what it's saying? So can I do like, well, it just figured this out for me. If I do this, I mean, we got to be getting the type from somewhere. Not found in the scope. Go to physical position. So it's a struct. I guess there is a two logical. So it's just doing it at into. I don't know what the difference between a logical and a physical is though. And why would we use one over the other? And logical pixels, physical pixels. Yeah, we need some Dexter on this. We could use some Dexter on this. So logical, so physical should be there should be we're getting F64 back. So like if we do 2 logical, will it then be able to figure this out? Because that would be nice. Dot 2 logical. I think I just want a scale vector 1. Yeah, it's still not gonna like it. Expected F64 if on integer. Use a float to literal. The trait from logical position. Just do into. Can knock at this. Okay, so like if we do set position, physical position. So like this should work. If we're just ignoring the whole position of that click, yeah. Unused result that must be used. So this should also center it. Yeah, I mean, so it's doing it at 500, 500. And that's definitely not, I've got a widescreen monitor, so that ratio gets funky there. Position into position self. So I think I'll have to play around with this a little bit more another time. I just have a blip in my internet there. Not certain, not certain. All right, so this works. I think we're close. I don't know. We're gonna end up redoing a bunch of this. Anyways, so I'm not too worried about there. Oh, I thought you could do it. Isn't it a result? Guess I was reading that wrong. Yeah, unused result that must be used, which should be handled, which makes sense. But we're not going to bother handling it for the moment because I'm going to end up redoing a little bit of this. But it's setting it to the right position, assuming we get. So position should be giving us a physical position F64. So like if we just did position, there's got to be a more elegant way to do this. but dot into I thought I could just dot into. Oh, going from an F64 to an i32. Okay, so if we've got, I think that's actually the issue. We're still in Tauri, yeah. So we're trying to do position. It has two options: physical position i32 or logical position f64. We have an f64 out of here, but they're calling it a physical position. So if we say if we call that logical, so just gonna figure it out. Position dot to logical. I know I tried this. Yeah, okay, so there's still something, there's still some issue with this. And it's doing x dot into divided by scale factor. Scale factor is an f64. So do we need to do this? Is that the appropriate scale factor? So I think we can do, we want, so we'll call it logical position. Logical position. Not really center, but you know. Logical. Go for it. And I think that's basically what this other thing is doing too, but logical. We're having some like weird conversion error where things are matching up. So logical position F64. That still feels weird, but you know. So now if we click on it, yeah, it's actually starting it way down there. And if I do my window size, oh my god. Well, we are running a little bit long, but I am like right there. So good, resizes the window. So we set the size. The size is going to be, of course, so let logical size Not enough colons. F64. We're going to do X is a, we want to do it as a 300 by, we'll call it 300. So F64. Logical size, F64 does not have this field. Width and height. Width, height, which makes sense. So logical size. So we can do window.set size can be logical size. So I basically did this part of it. So now I need to do Tauri. I don't like this, but we are just going to deal with that for now. So that logical, whatever. We want to do Tauri size equals, and I think this is because it implements both, that we have to do all of this extra jumping through hoops. No, Tauri, oh, I didn't, wait. Tauri size, yep. Logical and logical size. Nope. Back. And this goes here. We don't like Tauri size. Expected value found enum. Because I've got this in here too many times. All right. So now what we can do is we can do position is plus logical size dot width plus logical size dot height. All right. Fingers crossed. So now if we click it, I think it's off my screen because I need to go coordinates up that way. Did I do the right direction? Yeah. So like it is showing up when you click. I clicked the pop-up menu. The icon is right here. I guess I need to go this way. The icon is right there. I click it. It's drawing the window from here and down. Coordinate system means top left. is where it's going to show up. So if my position is right here, if I do negative the height and the width, it's going to basically be drawing it from the bottom. So then we'll move the bottom up right up there, I think. And it appears I'm not right. My height and width are the same. Nice, it does scale it. Cool. So I'm not certain why it's not showing up. So this will still put it down there. I mean, if I just take those off, let's see what this size is. I wonder if this is some weird size going on here. You rebuild. Oh, wait a minute. We really need to call it. But I'm so close. Okay, I can see it. So it's doing a decent size. I just closed it, didn't I? Dang it. I'm also getting hungry too. Okay, so clicking on that, go away. Need to, can I hide you? No. So if I click on it, I can see it down there. So it's doing it right in the top corner there. So if I do logical, let's just do one value. I'm wondering if it's going lower and I'm getting my coordinate system goofed up, which is putting it off the screen. So if we just adjust the X, it actually moved it to the right. So I do need to do minus for my position there. Did it say bottom left or bottom or top left? Position, size, position, show, hide, set the window position. Outer position returns the position in the top left-hand corner of the window. Top left-hand corner of the desktop. So I think we're thinking about it right. So if I do it negative, that worked. So why didn't it work? So now if we do this, it should. I think that's gonna work. We just need to do a focus. Like I think we can do set position, window dot. Try state trigger. set focus. So this should bring it to the front. So now if we do this, there we go. But what's interesting is so if I hide it again, if I do it from the bottom left, where is it reporting that position? I wonder if it's including that top bar there. Oh, sorry, Power Toys. So by clicking it there, it doesn't seem to matter where I click it. Positionally, it keeps being put in the same spot. So I'm guessing it's actually including the bar on top here. And since I'm not actually going to be using that at all, what I'm going to do is turn off the decorations for the moment. I think it's just decorations false. We'll see how well I remember it. So now it should go right. No, it didn't. So something interesting going on with the pixel stuff. You do need to set a draggable element in there, which I don't have right now. But honestly, I think that's kind of okay. Like I'm okay with it having, we just need to make sure to like size this thing right. So like right now this, yeah, I mean, you can kind of drag it that way, which is funny. So right now when we click it, it's putting it there. So we need to like move it up just a little bit. And I'm not quite sure what we can do to actually like calculate that. I don't know if it's gonna like that or not. So then the next thing would be to, now that we click it and we get system information. Oh, it's minus. So we're doing a minus. We are basically not moving it up high enough. We are using the position of the left click and setting the logical size of the app. So I wonder if part of it is physical versus logical size. And I think that probably is why it's not landing where I expect it to. So like if I do negative there, I think it'll land it close, and I think that'll be enough to call it, satisfy my curiosity here. Yeah. And I mean, it's going to also depend on like where this thing is. So like if it's up here. It would be kind of nice to like put it above this somehow, but you know, let's do 70. and we will do double click, grabs the window, and then double click also hides it. Window dot am I kidding? I guess a double click. Double click ends up showing it again though. So I guess we move it into the right click. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I think that'll be it for what we're gonna work on here. Except now I'm still showing that menu. I guess that's part of the menu. I don't know. It's good enough for now. It's kind of doing what we want. We need to figure out how to get the information that we've gathered, which would be specifically in this case just the total memory used. But we want to be able to like pipe some information into the web view somehow, and that then kind of gives us some structure for like having little tray apps. Click on the button and it shows just a little window, and that window is going to be dictating the, or it's going to be displaying whatever information you want to host in the tray app. I know it'd be nice to have like a you click away and it hides it kind of situation, but that's all for another time. So thank you for anybody that is still sticking around and everybody that stopped by. We are probably going to what on a calendar. I think next week. Yeah, we may or may not be streaming next week. But we'll definitely pick it up whenever we skip. We'll definitely be picking it up again in January. So I think we are pretty close to the requirements for affiliate. So I'll probably do a couple extra streams in January so we can hit that and we can play around with some stream commands. I think that'll be fun. Use points, make me drink water. That's what everybody does, right? Cool. Well, thank you everybody for stopping by and hope you enjoyed. Bye for now.